So within existence itself, there's been agencies of consciousness, energy, and then intelligence, and then just newfound experimentation or creation and new mutation with that which always mutates, that which is eternally moving, movable. And what does that really mean? Because just to be direct with it, we're we're moving with like some we're creating with what's always moving. So within what we're creating with what's always moving, we're we're, we're like okay, this is my third video because I was like jumping around points. Yeah, we're like kind of like a reflection of we're like a micro reflection of chaos and order, because in one sense, mutable earth, it could describe a realm of energy, or a setting of energy, of how like everything is just kind of like on one infinite chessboard kind of, and all the pieces are like falling and picking themselves back up. However they're doing that, like in one infinite chessboard, there's certain spaces and pockets within different agencies and bigger stories where things are in some type of like realm of chaos, destruction, desolation. And within that one infinite chessboard, there's also places that are the opposite, heavenly realms, pleasurous realms, real like luxurious realms. And in between that is how like somehow we're like, there's like within our own like soul karma and dharma, we're going like to and from that. We're going from metaphysical esoteric neutral hell to metaphysical esoteric neutral heaven. And that's all that would be mutable air. That would be like kind of like Gemini's agency, like, mutable air, because like we're using that insight and that intelligence to like, communicate with the the throat chakra of the solar system's Adam Cadmian, and then eventually the throat chakra of the galaxy's Adam Cadmian. So like, and somehow, regardless of like, on a surface level, if Mercury like rules those constellations or not, on different layers and levels, that's not necessarily so, because we're all influencing it and co-creating all of this together, like all the houses, like we all created, like there's a spiritual teamwork that already happened for like everything to be the way it is. But yeah, Gate 64, it's like the memory card of like knowing like what everything is in material creation, as far as how the human experiment and the human evolution got to this point within this model. Because Gate 64, you could look at it as like the CPU and the ROM, and it's called before completion. And the I Ching gate before completion, it's an ironic paradox. It's a paradox of ironies, because that which is already before complete, it was always complete, but it casted its own shadows upon itself, and it took away different lights, not for good, not for bad, but within that, different betters and worse is happening through in the movement of going through the mutable signs, falling from the different exalted positions of the cardinal and fixed signs, and the moving, going away and to the origins of the stories in different contexts. So within that, Gate 64 is something like it's like a paradox, because it's already like, it has the knowledge encased with everything that could possibly happen in regards to how like the hyper metaphysical DNA of the human being, the hyper material DNA codes that are in the human being, it corresponds to some type of real galactic intelligence. But are we nourishing that and going towards that or not, in a very nuanced, precise synergy alchemy way? Because everything that we do, we're either accounting for our different types of ascension or dissension. That's how brutal the universe is. It's that cut and dry with the universal mechanics. Like within everything that you're doing, with all the different energies that you have and all the different elements, are you using that for like a balanced way for external and internal, or are you using that for out of pocket, distorted, detrimental, a lucified way, external and internal and internal external and internal external, like doing that, like that, where that's the motion, that's like the move. We are our own pendulum to our own grandfather's clock. You know, we're our own movement, and how we're moving is our micro decisions and our micro choices based on what we choose to be like blinded by what light, based on an individualized agency rather than a more complete agency. Because if you're caught up in one of these, you know, major like hidden grahas, hidden godheads, hidden, you know, planetary rulers, because the hidden planetary rulers are the asteroids behind it, and the hidden the hidden energy rulers behind the asteroids are that which is like non-dualitizing the planets and the asteroids, which are like bigger galactic, you know, objects respectively. So this is just the esoteric math of it, and I really don't give a fuck if anybody has like the non-intelligence to fucking hate on me. Like, have fun in your little kindergarten energy, like, period. And I have other videos that will just like, you know, like transform the crap out of you, and you could thank me later. But that's like a different point, because if anybody hates me, go ahead, you know, you don't have the intelligence to, like, you know, be that you're being chemically engineered just to be warped that way. And what helps you wouldn't know what 2 and 2 together is if it could save your life. So whoever hates me, please do so. I welcome you to do so. Thank you very much. And yeah, it's so Gate 64 is a paradox because it's before completion, but it's still like, you know, it's still in the rung and it's still in the circuit in the context of the crown chakra. Before completion and after completion, they're both in the crown chakra. So it's kind of like, it's like this galactic code is in our crown chakra already. Every human being on this earth, we just didn't have that particular bit of knowledge to know that, you know. And now that we do know that, we could see how, like, it's just a game of like big oscillations of like big galactic positive energy and big galactic negative energy, not in like the use of, like, you know, thinking about it, not in the use of good bad in a mental way, but in the use of like good and like negative in an energy way. So within that, like, the new moon, we're having willpower just to deeply accept where we're at, you know, deeply accept the whole mess of everything. And, you know, how God could more or less supposedly heal it all, but for whatever reason, there's this process and this, you know, there's this wait time within how, like, you know, the surface level game is playing within, you know, all the different layers of like these planetary rulers, i.e. aka the main gatekeepers. Thank you guys.